So we'll get started with our warm-up. All right, so we'll start with our deep breath in. And stretching our elbows to the back wall on the way down. It is a mostly lower body workout today with some core at the end, but we will start with our warming up our upper body. We'll do some arm circles forward and getting bigger as we go. And backwards, start small, get bigger as we go. And we'll do a couple shakers forward, backwards, side to side. Just getting your arms loose and woken up for this morning. We'll do some reaches to the side. I'm trying to keep our hips and our shoulders square to the front. All right, and now we'll bring them down to our opposite toe from our T. Right, we'll do one more on each side. And when we come up to standing, we'll do 5 single leg deadlifts on each leg. So we'll hinge forward at our hips. Come on down, back up. We'll do 5 each leg. If you can, try not to tap down in between. So we're warming up our hamstring. Very slight bend in your stationary knee. Then 5 on the other side. Your neck should follow your body. And so your gaze just follows, the direction of as your body hinges forward, it goes with it. And when you are done, 5 on each leg, then we'll turn them in to reverse lunges with a twist. You don't have to step too far back. Try to keep your chest up. All right, one more on each leg. And then we'll move on to our inchworms. So we'll inchworm forward into our plank position. From here, we'll pike. And then we'll push up. And rock our hands back up. And we'll do 5 of these. So pike first. And then push up. It's 2. But go at your own pace, of course. This is 4 for me. And try not to move your hands at all between your pike and your push-up. Hopefully they're in the right spot, which is right under your shoulders. And when you're done, you can slowly roll up and we'll start to jog on the spot. So the workout is a ladder, same format we've done before, with a 5-minute core finisher. I'll show you the exercises. I think we've done most of them before, but they're almost all lower body or cardio focused. So let's go high knees. Get your arms involved. And butt kickers. All right, so our first exercise in the spirit of the Euro Cup is soccer players. So we're juggling a ball with our feet. Second exercise, we're gonna go down into a wide squat. So feet further than normal, toes pointed out a little bit like a sumo squat. We'll go down and we'll hold for a couple seconds. Then we'll turn to a lunge, back to a squat, turn to a lunge. So we stay low the whole time. The next exercise is that exact thing, but with a jump. So we do jump squat, lunge, lunge, jump squat, lunge, lunge. You can stop in between. So if you want to go jump squat together, lunge together, lunge. Okay. Next one is hip thrusts. So if you have a bench you can use, you're lying on the bench with the weight on your hips and you're bringing your hips up to parallel to the ground, or you can do this one on your knees. Just put the weight on your pelvis and you're thrusting up. That's exercise number 4. Exercise number 5 is bench hops or bench overs. So if you do have a bench or a chair, going side to side. If not, you can just do lateral hops, side to side. Exercise number 6 is deadlifts, which we know, right? And then exercise number 7 we've done before, so it's a jump squat to a jumping jack. Jump squat, jumping jack. We work for 20, rest for 10, work for 30, rest for 15, work for 40, rest for 20, and then we make our way back down. So we'll start with our first exercise, which is our soccer players, in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're doing our soccer players. We're juggling the ball. We are all Cristiano Ronaldo or whoever else you're cheering for. I'm not cheering for Portugal, but whoever else you're cheering for. 2, 1, rest. So next is our squat hold, where we're going to turn to our lunges. 2, 1. We're down in our squat, hold for a couple seconds, and then turn to one side for your lunge, back to center. Depends on the floor you have. This may be easier or harder. Now we're going to change that, so it's a jump squat and 2 jump lunges. And go. So jump squat, and lunge, lunge. And you can come up to center in the middle for each one if you'd like. And hip thrusts is next. So grab your weight, either on your hips, on your knees, or a bench if you have one available. 2, 1, go. So you can just do this from your knees, and you kind of come forward into a, so you bring your hips so that you're perpendicular to the ground. 2, 1, rest. Next is our bench overs or lateral hops side to side. So if you have a chair or something, you can just put your hands on the chair. And try to spring quickly from one side to the other. And deadlifts are next. One, go. So remember that your gaze follows your body. You only go as deep to the point where your back would start to round. Two, one, and rest. So next is our jump squat to jumping jack. Jump squat, jumping jack. If you want to take out the jump, you can just do a squat and a jack. I messed myself up there. 2, 1, rest. All right, we get a minute rest in between rounds, so feel free to grab a drink. And then we start everything over again. With soccer players. And now this round, we work for 30 reps for 15. We still have 30 seconds to rest. I think I'll probably shorten the rest time next time. So we're starting with our soccer players. It is a mix of cardio and then lower body, but the cardio is mostly lower body. So we're starting in 10 seconds with our soccer players. 3, 2, 1, and go. So working for 30, resting for 15. Try to get your arms involved too. 10 seconds to go. Try to bring up the inside of your foot. 2, 1, rest. So we rest for 15, and then it's the squat hold where we pivot to lunge on both sides. 3, 2, 1, go. So that squat hold, pivot up, center. Feel free to go at your own pace. Your back foot, your heel might come up during the lunge, that's fine. Just try to stay low the whole time. Try to keep your shoulders back. 2, 1, rest. Now it's our jump lunge with our jump squat, or jump lunges. 2, 1, go. As we get to our round of 40, you may want to add in a pause. You can remember, try to switch up which foot lunges first. Almost there. 2, 1, rest. Hip thrusts are next. Two, 1, go. If you are doing a hip thrust, your shins should be perpendicular to the ground. And then at the end, you pause at the top when your hips and your thighs are parallel to the ground. Two, 1, rest. All right, and now bench overs or lateral hops. 2, 1, go. you're trying to jump high or far, or spend less time on the ground. Try to land softly. Back to deadlift. Two, one, go. There's always a slight bend in your knees. You hinge forward at your hips, and your neck stays in line with your spine. Even when you're finished, remember that last, on your way down, it's kind of like a bonus rep. Make sure you do it with proper form. All right, and rest. Now it's our alternating jump squat to jumping jack. And then we gotta rest. 2, 1, go. Jump squat, jumping jack. Ten seconds. 2, 1, rest. So we have our minute rest. Grab some water. And then we're moving into the top of our ladder, which is work for 40, rest for 20. All of our same moves again. And then we do 30, 15, 20, 10, and then we'll finish with 5 core exercises at the very end. And we're starting in about 20 seconds. All right, so soccer players in 10 seconds. I don't know about you guys, but I really have been enjoying watching the Euro Cup. As long as they're good games, it's all fun. Soccer players, starting now. So for this round of 40, try to keep going at the same pace the whole time. So keep it consistent. Get your arms involved. We have 10 seconds to go. 2, 1, rest. And next we have our squat hold, where we're going to turn to each side for our lunges. 10 seconds to go. We do get a nice 20-second break here. 2, 1, go. So this one might feel a little longer, just because we are holding nice and low the whole time. Try to keep your chest up. If you need to reset in any one of the positions, that's fine. Try to stay low. When you're in your squat, toes can be pointed out like the sumo squat. And rest. And now we have our jump lunges to jump squat. Like I mentioned here, it's 40 seconds, so you might want to come to like the middle, bring both feet together at some point to provide yourself a little bit of a break. 2, 1, go. You can even step through all the moves. Try to get your arms involved. Help out that lower body a little bit, because mine is on fire. Almost there, we have just 10 seconds to go. 2, 1. Hip thrusts are next. So whichever version you're doing. You could even do these as weighted glute bridges if you'd like. 2, 1, go. Breathe out on the way up. Try to pause for a second at the top. And we have bench overs. Two, one, rest. Ready for bench overs or lateral hops. 3, 2, 1, go. Halfway. And then next, our deadlift. So you have deadlifts next. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Remember to pick up your weight and put it down properly. Those are like bonus reps. Feel the weight in your heels. Keep the weight close to your shins. Almost there. 2, 1. Last one for this round is our alternating jump squat to jumping jack. You may have had enough with the jump squats, so feel free to take out the jump. Two, 1, and go. And this is the longest period we'll work for, 40 seconds. It'll get easier after this. Keep it up. We have just over 10 seconds to go. And then we have our break in 3, 2, 1. Rest. So we have a minute break. And then we have 2 more rounds to go. So we have our soccer players up first in 30 seconds. soccer players in 30 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're only going for 30. So maybe you want to try to increase the intensity, pick up the pace a little bit. If you want to try to bring your feet up just a little higher. 2, 1. All right, so squat hold to lunge hold. We only rest for 15 seconds this round, so that goes by a little faster. 2, 1, go. I'm trying to count to 3 in my head for each one. Like whatever works for you. So now it's jump lunges and jump squat. We got a lot of jump squats in here today. 3, 2, 1, and go. Ten seconds. 2, 1, rest. Hip thrusts are next. Go. Halfway. Pause for a second at the top. 2, 1. Bench overs or lateral hops are next. 2, 1, and go. About 10 seconds left. And we have our deadlifts. All right, deadlift. Three, 2, 1, go. Keep that weight close to your shins. Neck follows in line with the rest of your spine. Knees slightly bent. Back flat. 2, 1, rest. All right, now we're alternating jump squat to jumping jack. And then we're done round 4. 2, 1, and go. Jump squat to jumping jack. 10 seconds to go. 1, and rest. So we have a minute rest, and then we're going to do that for our last round. Work for 20, rest for 10. And I'll show you our core exercises in the minute between our last round and our final core finisher. We have 30 seconds to go before our last round. Once we're done this, you won't need your weights, but if you have a light pair of weights, you might want those, but you don't need them for our core finisher. All right, so soccer players, we're starting in about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Try to up your intensity for all of the exercises for this last round. Because it's so short. Squat hold to lunge hold is next. You might want to hold for less time for this round or longer. Squat. With your lunges, make sure your front knee is not over your toe. Which is why it's good to have a wide stance. All right, our last jump lunge to jump squat. 2, 1, and go. This 20 seconds feels so much nicer than the 40. 2, 1, rest. All right, hip thrusts. There you go. Then bench overs is next. 2, 1. 2, 1, and go. All right, deadlifts next. 2, 1, and go. I always find I have a tendency to speed up on shorter rounds. You don't have to do that. I have to constantly tell myself to slow down and rest. All right, our last move is our alternating jump squat to jumping jack. 2, 1, go. Okay, so I'll show you our, how long do we get? A minute, perfect. Our 5 core exercises. Number 1 is a plank reach. So you're in a high plank or low plank, and you're just reaching forward with one hand. Next one, you can use weights or not. You're gonna be in a V-sit, and then you're just bringing one knee in towards your body. So this is where you can hold weights if you want. Number 3 is a plank. We're gonna drive our knee forward and then twist and back. Drive your knee forward, twist and back. Number 4, once again, if you want to use weights, let me just pause this. Is we're sitting with our feet on the ground and our weights are up in front of us with slightly bent arms. We're gonna reach behind us and back. Reach behind us, no baby, and back. Okay. And then our last one is 3 mountain climbers into a side plank. So 1, 2, 3, turn.
Mom, I want to do
1, 2, 3, and turn. Okay, so we'll start with the plank reach in 10 seconds.
But Mom, I want to do it too. But can I say you can take out one of them?
2, 1, and go. So you're in your high plank, and you're just reaching forward. If you have an object on the ground, maybe you want to touch that, or you can keep your hand up in the air. Either way, your wrists are right under your shoulders, or your elbows are right under your shoulders. Hips are square to the ground. Oh, I guess I didn't mention we're working for 50, resting for 10.
18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So now we're in our V-sit, and this is where we're gonna bring one knee in. So if you want little weights, you can hold them up. You don't need them. I don't know if I'm gonna use them. So when you're in a V-sit, and one knee
And you can,
coming in.
are there the smaller little weights?
These are the smallest ones we have.
No, but the other ones. The other 2 that are in there.
Yeah, these are
And those are heavy enough for me to lift. Okay. They're super good for me.
Keep breathing. We're almost there. 2, 1, rest. So now it's the plank knee drive with a twist. So it's like a slow mountain climber, and then you're twisting your body. So we're getting a little bit of oblique action here.
I'm okay. There's a lot of exercises.
Try to hold in both positions with your knee up and with your knee twisted. Try to keep your bum, your hips down, wrists right under your shoulders. 2, 1. So now we're sitting on our bums with our feet on the ground, and we're reaching behind us with our weight. So it's nice and slow. We're twisting our body. Kind of like a Mason twist, but we're extending that weight a little bit behind us. If you want to lift your feet up off the ground, you can. I'm just gonna keep mine on the ground for now. Those are pretty heavy, bud.
But they're heavy enough for me to lift, but slow time.
So we are getting a little bit of an arm workout here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And our last one is our 3 mountain climbers to side plank. And then we are done. 2, 1, go. So if I start with my right leg, that means I'm rotating to my right side. If I start with my left, I'm rotating to my left side. Make sure you hold your side plank. Two, 1, and done. All right, we'll stay on the ground. I think this workout went a little long. It's 7:43, so stay with us for a cool down if you can. We'll stay on the ground. We'll start in our tabletop. We'll do some cat cows. So do a couple of cat cows here, following your breathing. We'll curl our toes under, push back to downward dog.
Mommy, can you move those weights?
In a minute.
Let's go on a surfboard.
Okay, let's bring ourselves forward into our plank, and even a little bit more forward, if that makes sense, into our upward dog here. Instead of doing our chaturanga, we'll just push forward into upward dog. Try to feel, hopefully you'll feel a stretch in your abs here. And then we'll push back to child's pose. Walk our hands to the left. Our inner hand over the outer hand.
This is eye coat. This can warm up for the
And back to center. And then to the right side.
Deep pose. Hey, Matthew. What me?
And then back to tabletop. Curl your toes under for downward dog one more time.
This guy's the kid.
Stretch out your heels if you didn't do so already.
I don't need to be the kid.
Walk up and slowly roll up.
Back. Because he's the youngest.
Then we'll grab one foot
He's
for
a
a quad
go-wow.
stretch.
Go-wow. He's the youngest.
You need to hold on to a wall or a chair.
I'm just a go-wow, not a kid. I told you. A girl's a kid. So, is he an adult? Yeah.
And then we'll cross our foot that's in the air over our knee. And we'll sit back.
How old is he? It's her. But I don't want to do it. How old is he?
And then our moving leg we'll put in front of us.
9, 5.
First, Christopher and Matthew.
So
For a hamstring stretch.
Actually, I'm 100. That's not fair because you're only
And then
2.
and then that same leg will cross behind. And we'll reach to touch our back toes. So you should feel this in your IT band, kind of on the outside of your back leg.
The mustic COVID ninja. Whoa. I'm real ninja and you're
All right, and come on up, and then those same 4 on the other side. So quad stretch first.
There's no one ninja. See what ninja is? I'm truly ninja. My ninja is one of the highest ones. They're only on the highest level of the space.
And cross your foot over your standing leg and sit down.
That means I am my ninja. But you couldn't take out there and get red ninja shoe.
And then that same moving leg in front for a hamstring stretch.
Flower power. I'm power red. You just can't know what you and the word of nigger.
And then we'll take that leg, bring it behind,
I
and touch our back toes.
because I'm rich by your really strong spider.
And then bend your knees and slowly roll up. And we'll just do our arms at the end.
I'm not gonna fall.
And switch.
You go get one.
And one arm over your head.
I'll get those shoes in there. I love it.
And switch. And then we're done. Have a wonderful day, everybody. See you guys on Wednesday.